It's a good interview.
Okay.
I did just finish chatting to the players over on, it was Gibby over on Cleanup Crew, and I didn't have to check my notes. I totally am doing great here. And he was telling me that they're all Counter-Strike players. So they have
Yep.
plenty of competitive experience. They've, played loads of FPS, and a lot of their strats are just carrying from one game to the next.
Oh. Now that's
And
interesting.
it's not the big things. Hey, we're going to do a set smoke execute where this smoke happens here, right? That doesn't carry, obviously. But hey, I'm a smoke for entry. You cover my back. And if you've played with that player for 3 years in Counter Strike, you know roughly how that's going to work and how well it's going to work.
And that's so interesting because that's fundamentally different than what we saw even in game number 1. This is a group of friends coming together, and casters are ready, players are ready. I think we're ready to get this game number 3 underway. Yes, indeed, loading on into the lobby.
So the way it works is you sit in the lobby, and the player team's like, right, are ready, or some combination thereof, and then they're like, are the casters ready? And then you don't have to respond. And Paul always writes out, the casters are ready. And whenever I'm in a lobby, I just hold the R button for 10 seconds, then hit enter.
Arr, he's a pirate. Arr, going ready to play these matches.
I feel like the longer I hold the R, the more ready I am,
Mm-hmm. I don't understand it all, but that's okay, TJ.
We're loading into Haven, our first Haven of the day. And I'm excited for that, because this is maybe my favorite map right now. The reason for it is because the amount of work the defenders have to do. I still think it is defense-sided because people haven't worked out how to attack. Many of these points are super tight choke points, and they're very easy to hold if you use good utility well. And it's much easier to learn defensive utility than aggressive utility. But the way garage and mid control works on this map, you can control that area and force rotates out, and then go for a long rotate to any of the sites. There's things to work with, which aren't necessarily true on other maps.
We are seeing the push now coming through Garage.
Oh.
Nova picking up that first kill. Did have the flash, and then they're trying to look to control B as well.
Look at how far forward he is.
They are just pushing this up.
Nova!
Oh my goodness. And that's going to be critical, getting a couple of kills. The Spiky is going down now, though. And they are aware that they're coming in here through front door. Boombot going to go down, look to try and pick something up. Is able to look to maybe pick up the first kill, finding the shot onto the Sage as well. Critical and Crew going off to start this one off. He played so far forward, let everybody come in around him, and then he just went off.
It was really, really cool to see that much aggression. I love watching people use their utility to clear angles. Raze's Boombot is something a lot of players aren't using aggressively enough yet, in my opinion. You throw that Boombot, and then you peek behind him. And the player has to choose, what do I do? Do I shoot the player, or do I shoot the Boombot? Because especially on a pistol round where they maybe haven't bought armor, they just die if they don't make that choice quick enough. So that rushdown worked because of it. And then they got extra far forward, and then it all kind of fell apart as Orgless wasn't quite able to get anything from that.
Well, getting the shotgun to start this off. Just pushing right on through the wall. That Sage wall did not stop them for nary a moment. And oh my goodness, putting that stolen gun to work. Rush C, everybody. And it just...
Show me more aggression, DreadIQ. I've been missing it.
We have the Judge now in the hands still of Massive Titan. Boombot, like you mentioned, is going to go on through. Watching through Garage, as well as through CT. We have a long flank coming in down through Long C. One of the last remaining members here of Orgless. And this is going to be the pinch. This is actually not a bad angle to try and play here, TJ. Good defuse, looking to go in on the site, but Ariel's the one to get it done. That was just footsteps, audio cue from defuse. So you look left, right as the Cypher peaks as well. That was just classic tactical FPS.
This is going to be a fantastic game.
Dude, I'm already grinning from ear to ear.
I want to see a little more variety in the attacking strategy. Obviously, if it's a one-note, hey, we rush things down super fast for DreadIQ, that's a problem. But it works very effectively on this map because of how spread out defenders have to be. The number one thing that kills attacks on this map are people stalling out. Because defenders have to be A site, B site, and C site, and the A site players can't rotate effectively to B site, like let alone C, because the path they need to take is so convoluted. They have to go all the way back through their site, and they're oftentimes pushing pretty far forward. So you can exploit that very effectively as an attacker and just go hard and fast onto his side.
Also got to note this Cypher camera positioning. He jumps down from heaven to mid box to set this up, and it's actually
that one?
pretty dope. And we are seeing potentially a bit of a bait here, though. Hang on, TJ. Caters is sitting in mid. He's got himself a shotgun. Almost able to find more than one. A little bit of trigger discipline there might have netted him an additional kill. As we're seeing a full rotation over to the BC side. Critical looking to try and line up some shots, but they've got C open. This is huge. They're going for the fast rotate.
And again, I like, hey, we've made noise, they know we're here, they're rotating to defend, so what are other options? Oh, what a good ult! Just denying the flat. Crispy can't get near the bomb site, and that buys time for the rotation to come through. It is still 2v4 though.
It is a tough position here. Stim Beacon actually being utilized here by Critical's. Aerial goes down, but he's just going to opt to save. And that is absolutely the correct call. It is a 1v4 they have to set up.
That makes me maybe question the ulti.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
hang on.
If you're gonna go for that, if you're like, oh, we win this 2v4, then I respect you. Even if you're wrong, I still respect you.
So what I wish he'd done is I wish he'd broken the wall while the orbiter laser was going down. Not only masking the audio cue from that, but also just, I mean, nobody was looking at it. I was watching the defender's POV. That was your opportunity to break through. We're nitpicking.
I mean, it's a committal thing where if you break down that wall, you're committed to a line of sight, and there's no good way to play that angle that isn't instantly vulnerable to being sprayed by a defender who turns to look at the wall, which is why you're scared to break it as a attacker in Garage. I do want to sidetrack briefly and just praise the attacker's awareness of what the defenders know. They rush A, get a pick, go, okay, they know we're here, they're rotating extra players to A, let's just fall back. That's how you play this map, because you never want to rotate into a strong defending stack. Then they push mid, they get another trade, they fall back. And this means there are fewer and fewer defenders. Even these trades are in the attacker's favor, because there are fewer and fewer defenders to cover.
We're seeing more trades coming out now. Still a 2v2 situation. Pulling back from B window. Let me look to rotate towards A, but Strider is covering the flank. They hear the audio cues in A long going on in from the Sage player. And of course, Cypher, he's going to have those trap wires to hold the back of the rotation as well. Going to have awareness of somebody just trying to pull in that flank. But rotating in from CT, of course, is this Brimstone player. Critical is in a position to try and line it up through Heaven. So we'll see what he can do. Playing very close onto sight. Back in corner. Okay, this is going to be interesting. These are some rough angles. They do have awareness of where this defending player is. Critical trying to get up on the ledge. Not able to see the angle, though. And that's actually massive.
Critical's making me giggle because I think it was Strider's trapwire. There's no good way to tell, unfortunately, but I think it was Strider's trapwire.
And he got baited by his...
He was trying to get up on the ledge. He was trying to get up on the ledge because if he got up on the ledge without tripping the trapwire, then Strider wouldn't know that he was there. And he'd be able to get a free kill. More accurately, Strider would think he couldn't be there. So he was trying to find like this tiny pixel gap where he could stand on the ledge, see down, but didn't trip the trapwire. And he couldn't find it, and he was spending so much time jumping up and down that he was making enough noise that Strider just looked below and got him. The audio trapwire.
Oh my goodness! And there's something to be said for.
That's how you play Raze. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's just utility is not designed to kill. Anyway, so if you
every 5 rounds, you just get a free kill on this map. With
well, because you're gonna expect somebody to probably peek B window, and
well, it's a free kill either way because if they don't peek B window, then you B mid.
Yeah.
So you take that.
We take those wins. 2-2 now. We do have full buys coming out from both teams. But the money in the bank for the side of Orgless not looking good. They need to get a W here. They can be forced onto an eco next round if they are not able to find the hold. But it is a 5v4 situation. So if they're going to look to get it done, it'll be this time around. Trying to find a pick to open up some part of this map is DreadIQ, but they haven't found it yet. Orgless isn't giving anything away quite yet, but here comes the push.
DreadIQ turning their attention towards the B site, and Caters is caught out inside that orbital laser. That completely changes how they want to defend. They can't hold Garage proper. I'm not sure what you do with that, though, DreadIQ. That was a lot of investment, and they don't seem to have a plan.
And that was Diffuse in a really nice position up on box on site. This is pretty massive now. Diffuse looking to try and get another one. Caters is able to pick up the kill onto Steel, and 12 seconds left on the clock. Just controlling this from top mid. There's one kill, looking for another. 3 for Diffuse. Make it 4 in the end there. What a stellar mid B hold, TJ.
Super clean from Diffuse, just putting his crosshair in the right places. But kind of weird investment of the orbital laser from Steel. Obviously, the idea was we control Garage now, but I think they were planning on getting the kill on Caters as well. When he escapes the orbital laser, when he gets free of the top of B Garage, they suddenly don't feel comfortable pushing into C-side. They don't feel comfortable executing the Garage push because they don't have an entry. And they just kind of killed the play in mid, and it was too late in the round to cancel.
And
so
I want to interject here real quick, TJ, because there's an interesting thing. So Diffuse was actually giving positional information to his teammate. He's actually shooting his pistol up, being like, no, stand here. Which means that I'm thinking Diffuse is actually going to be one of the shot callers on this team, really lighting things up for them here, and lighting things up, throwing in the nades as well as that boombot for good measure. Controlling an A short and long. They've got information where the teammates are, but I think that's so cool. Like, these players are learning over the course of this game as it's going on, and now with the knowledge of where these two players are, Diffuse is in a great spot.
I really like... Okay, hold up. This is going to be a push onto Aerial. Watch him as well.
Titan's going to go down. Nova's here.
I know exactly.
Trying to find somebody else, but
the
Neuro
neural
Theft.
effect from around the corner.
Oh my goodness.
So good. Now he knows he's free to strafe back.
Oof. Well, not that free, TJ. And we do see the 3-man hold here on A, committing the slowing orb, and that's the cue to leave. However, Caters is here on the flank. Here's them rotating back in through mid and B. He could have a potential saucy flank here, though, TJ, but opting to play it slow. That could have been pretty dirty. But instead, the full rotate to C is very real right now. They're committing onto this. However, the defenders are here in time. There's one. No! Juggle! Not able to find the kill. That's actually huge. This allows this fight to go down pretty much uncontested. Caters finally able to find the flank, but the attackers are in position. What can they make happen?
I like the commit, but they don't get anything after the ulti. Spending the Rolling Thunder to open the site only works if you open the site. Critical now does that, though. Strafing out, full walking from Garage. Nobody's watching the angle. The site player, who maybe should have been Nova, is just fully preoccupied with Defender main. He thinks he's covered for some reason.
It was a
Goes
huge
down
misplay.
for free, and that's just a free win.
A huge misplay coming out there, not covering that key angle. I mean, that was free access. Critical piece of information there being overlooked by the side of DreadIQ there, and now down 4-2. Wow, what a solid round there from Orgless.
It's a couple times I've seen good ulti commitments in this game where people are just kind of throwing them out, not getting a whole lot from them. I do want to criticize that. I also want to criticize Aerial. I think missed his camera placement this round, so
We didn't see it.
But I want to touch on one of the things that is going super, super well for DreadIQ. They know how to rotate across the map. They know how to make these trades work for them. Trading even as an attacking team on this map is super favorable because the defenders have to cover 3 bomb sites, and they're using that.
They are, but the rotation's costing them a little bit here because Critical, aware that there was that pressure up onto Garage, they had the vision, the smoke down, to make sure B window was protected. And he was able to rotate in, get a bit of a cheeky flank resetting here, making this a 5v4, and now DreadIQ just not able to find the answers. They need to get a pick of their own.
Man, minor point, but people on Orgless really like yellow crosshairs, and I don't know how I feel about that. Diffuse finds one with long range. That's just a really aggressive default from the defenders. And that's the kind of thing you do in response to a team that's hyper-rotating. You play a solid default across the map, ready to fall back. You basically spread a net. I'm making hand gestures, and that's not helping. You spread a net as widely as possible across the map, and then as people push into contact with it, you let the side of the net that's getting hit fall back. You let them push onto the side, and you move the rest of your net forward behind them. And that means that wherever somebody peeks, there's somebody watching, there's knowledge, and there can be a punish.
And we do see the buy coming in now from DreadIQ, including the usage of an op being leveraged down long C. They are committing here, pushing Garage, long C as well. Sage will try and slow this down. Instantly being taken out, though. Trying to find an angle is Massive Titan.
Caters.
Able to, actually getting picked up there by Nova. And Jungle Man is there as well, picking up the op player. We are going to have the committal of the res from Crispy-ish. They're trying to take down this site, able to push on through. 2 defenders back in CT. Garage was an absolute bloodbath, but Critical will not stop. This man is a fiend. Committal of the ult here as well. Forces them back in the corner, trying to get the wall bang as well. Creating some space for his teammate to rotate on in. The spike is still not gone down. Oh, Massive Titan. He's still in the game, though, TJ. This is a 1v2 situation. Critical. Gonna play it a little bit slow. Stim Beacon here. Trying to find the shot. Can't get the wall bang. Backing himself on up. Has the smoke here to the left. Good usage of that. Oh, and Massive Titan is there with the bait. Beautiful play there from DreadIQ to pick up the round.
So I didn't get to finish my point last round. The reason that kind of net spread out play works so well is because if the attackers are full committing narrowly to a site, they have no control of their own spawn, they have no control of kind of the path behind them, so you can flank them, you can push in really easily, and that's what won the last round for the defenders, forcing Orgless. But DreadIQ instantly counter it, they shift their strategy. This round they keep 2 in mid for a slow play towards Garage, and that means they have their back covered as they push safe.
I mean, trying to cover your back is great, but you got to watch where your front's looking there. As the op picked up by Jungle Main, he got opt last round and decided, look, I can buy one of these 2 guys. Let's not worry about it. Forcing the defenders back to play around mid. But during this, meanwhile, Critical has moved up once again and is able to get another kill from this position, picking up Nova once more. I love this. They're aware resources are being spent on one side, so they're going to shift that line of scrimmage like you mentioned before, TJ. But Steel is going off in response.
Steel going big, having picked up the AWP from Titan's corpse. And now they'll take it over towards the A site, knowing again that they've drawn resources mid. Jungle Main reses Caters. That's a go signal because it means they know where both Jungle Main and Caters are. There's only one defender here, Ariel.
Ariel able to find one around the box. Pick up a Sage. His counterpart is getting taken out. Strider is getting denied. Coming in through CT, trying to find this last player here. As this is a 1v4 situation. Steel has already gotten 2 kills this round. Sees one in heaven, but Jungle Main starts the round and ends it.
I want to give a shout out to Critical. He's been talking about his aggressive mid control. He has 16 kills.
Got another Zydro on our hands, buddy.
Bomb. Well on his way to the 30 bomb before we even clear the first half. I do want to also acknowledge, yeah, that was super good kind of line of scrimmage play. As opposed to my net analogy, I like line of scrimmage much more. They spread out across the map over on Orgless, and as the kills come through, they start taking map control behind the attackers, forcing the attackers to play defense, to slow down, and those individual seconds they buy are each moments where they don't need to worry about the take, they can get their defenders in position.
Speaking of defenders, we're seeing them holding well here in Garage, committing the ult, but Nova actually side by side to one of his counterparts right now, and it's Diffuse is going to pick up the kill. A flawless round for the defenders, to be expected given the bye, but still, really nice play here from Orgless. I feel like they're starting to gel as these rounds go on.
You note the buy, and I would like to point out Diffuse spent ulti that round. He pumped the Raze ult for a quick peek out of Garage, which is a fine, normal, good play. I'm just not sure if it's worth it on an eco round, especially in this game where you know how much money your opponents have.
How do you feel about that, by the way? I've heard sort of mixed.
I really like it.
Yeah, I've heard sort of.
I prefer players having to do the math, but I also understand that it's an accessibility thing where,
yeah,
you know, putting that on the forefront is good. This execute's been called.
Okay.
They know that it's all A. It is just Ariel here for the next few seconds to rotate his.
We're hearing the Raze ult going in, able to find up 1 kill, but multiple members are moving in onto the site. The Spectre is going to be there to do its work. However, the defenders were able to rotate and pick up those kills onto the site. We're seeing the rotation coming in potentially into heaven. Nova's watching this, but the spike has not gone down yet. Smokes have to be leveraged. Steel is going to try to pick this up. He has the audio cues. He hears him.
Does this work?
Do you bail?
I think he's trying to proc the blast through the box. It does work.
We do hear the shot
From
go
heaven,
in.
he's just able to deny the plant.
For 1 second longer, but Steel is just too powerful, TJ. Will not be denied. Spike is down in a position where it cannot really be seen at all here from heaven. And with the wall bang. Steel, what a beast.
What a beast indeed. Picking up his own kills, playing that attack well. Obviously, when you're full rushing a site, when you're playing aggro like that on this map, it doesn't even especially matter if they have extra knowledge. They're playing a very, very, very good Cypher there from Ariel, and he had the extra knowledge, but he was alone on site. You see that
TJ.
with Cyphers because they give you advanced knowledge, but they just couldn't get enough players onto the site quickly enough, even with brilliant Cypher play from Ariel. They had 2 players, and they were just heaven and main trying to re-enter.
TJ, I want to interject real quick, because you know, you're talking about Ariel and you're
The
commenting.
Odin!
Yes, thank you. That was what I was going for. Okay.
Ariel!
Oh!
I love you!
TJ, for those who don't know, is a Cypher main who also loves to pull out a feisty Odin on occasion. The Neuro Theft is here, though. Able to try and slow this one down. Taking a little bit of damage here through the wall, but spraying and praying onto the site. Critical all the while is going off, though, on the angle. They're so distracted by the Cypher up in heaven that Critical is able to go off. Titan finally shuts this man down, but he is in a terrible position. The spike location is known, which means this should be potentially an easy kill here, forcing this Omen back. Maybe just try and save.
I just want to point out the cool little Omen mechanics there. TPing, you go into a corner, then you TP out of it, and if somebody's holding the corner, they don't know you've left. Not like the hyper advanced or anything, but it's just fun things Omens can do that other characters can't. And yes, you're 100% right. That round would not have happened without the Odin.
Let it be known.
They'll win.
They'll win.
Buy more Odins, people, but not against me.
Yeah, never against. No, that was sick because so much of a ruckus was being created. The Neuro Theft was there. That Critical was just left to his own devices. 3 people walked into his crosshairs and... Oh. He's gonna play this. Oh, he was gonna play this.
Pushing that.
Stuck
So
between
it's
a
last
rock
round
and...
of the half, but frankly, wasted so much time here. Oh, okay. It was last round of the half, and I feel like he didn't know that.
And then his teammates reminded him?
Midway through that round, where I was like, he's saving. Isn't it last round? And then I was like, no, it must not be, otherwise he wouldn't be saving. And I didn't, like, press the tab scoreboard.
I'm gonna be honest, I may have lost track as well, but there you are. I wish there was more of a decisive indicator, like, that's the half. You know what I mean? Like...
That's what your teammates are for. Your teammates are supposed to be like, hey, I can do math. It's the last round.
So we are seeing DreadIQ now playing on defense. Orgless up 8 rounds to 4. Now playing on attack. I would say 4 rounds on attack is pretty darn respectable. Again, most people are sort of saying in a lot of situations that it is CT favored. It is defender advantage. But again, this is one of these maps where the mind games really, really come into play.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that camera position? What? He saw through the wall.
What is that one-way smoke on the site? Did you see that? Critical just got a kill because of it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and now... Oh, the spike was about to be planted.
So what did a halfway smoke? If you plant the bomb in it, you die.
Spike planted.
Ah, go figure. We are seeing garage control now really coming into play as these 2 defenders look to try and find themselves a retake, but... Oh, I was going to say potentially in a bad situation there, but actually finding the pinch onto Ariel. This is massive. Crispy-ish. Looking to play through garage. Making a lot of noise, though. Trying to trade out shots, but it is a 2v2. Ariel can't quite get it done, though. It is a 2v1 now for Strider. He's got the knowledge of where his opponents potentially are. One playing into long. Perfect positioning there from the Raze. And this is Strider. This is a no-win situation, TJ.
picked up easily by Diffuse, playing that perfectly, as you say. Clean pistol round. And I want to shout out Critical site smokes again. One of those smokes was dropped on top of this site box, just on the corner of it. So the sky smokes, all the way they work is they come down from above, which means when you drop them, they come down vertically. When you drop them on raised things, they stay on the raised things, which is normally bad. He drops it on the corner of that box so that most of, like, half of the smoke is hanging off of the box, and he can finish that with a second smoke. And there's a tiny little window where he can see people's feet and shoot them. And the attackers, of course, playing close to that smoke, can't see through it because they're not short.
Well, one thing I am sure of is where exactly this push is going right now. Both squads running fully as 5. This is going to be another Clown Fiesta here onto the site as the full flank coming in from A. Diffuse is there to pick up 1 kill. Jungle Main picking up a second as the rest are going to look to rotate in through short, but this is huge. This is a beautiful bit of positioning and control here. Up onto the box as well. Finding another one is Diffuse. He will not stop. He will not... Oh, he's just going to get another one right here. The nade drops as well. Oh, denying the final kill. This could have been a potential ace here from Diffuse if they played this a little different.
Well played. No, DreadIQ.
That's a lot of fun.
They made so much noise. Like, they had the cool flank and they just ran all the way down a long. They just full sprinted on the cool flank, and all the side players went, wait a second, I hear a lot of footsteps, let's turn around. And then they're just playing defense. they're just using their utility to play defense from the side.
I mean,
completely flipped around.
Not too many rounds start off with all 10 people running. You know what I mean? Like, that's something special is happening here.
All right. DreadIQ on the defense now, much more spread out across the map, as per standard. They do have that Cypher A, that's interesting. Cypher's traditionally on Haven hold C site, because you can very obviously Cypher cam for advanced knowledge there, but we're seeing more and more Cypher cam play A with those new cameras that give you vision over the wall into long. So, that's kind of fun and interesting.
Garage control now, being picked up here from Orgless. They've got the footsteps. They know there's at least one playing BC. Satchel to try and create space. Diffuse not wanting to overcommit though. They take B control.
Yeah, this is a full minute on the clock. See, garage control is taken. Watch Crispy as he holds this. This is going to come for B or C depending on whether it cracks.
Crispy is actually able to pick up the kill coming into garage as the rest of the team is looking to get in onto B. Nice position there from Caters. Finds 1, finds 2, and is getting shut
Crispy
down.
refrags though, re-entering the site and shutting down Caters. That's off of his rotate from the garage hold. He kind of baited his teammate there, but he got the frag, so it works out. Now he's got a 2v1.
He heard that gun pickup. Oh, maybe he didn't hear that gun pickup. Dropped the wall though.
He was just rolling. I don't think you can hear gun pickups. Could be wrong.
Well, I heard it from his camera, so maybe that's an observer thing.
Small brain TJ. Didn't know you can hear gun pickups. Either way, he made the right call. The only place the Cypher could have been was the A site, because they still had C control. And he came from garage. So, whether or not he had ears didn't matter, because he had a big brain.
Call that map awareness. And I love it.
Now.
Because they walled off that angle, Ariel just can't even play the round. He does get a gun save, so you don't hate those, but it's a solid point on the board for DreadIQ.
And Orgless is now sort of in a weird position, economy-wise. They do obviously have that one saved gun, but otherwise, it is going to be a bit of a save here. Pistols and intel, and that's about it. They're going to probably do a full rush A again and just try and do as much economic damage as possible. And maybe, who knows, pull off another clutch round.
They do have the Phantom on Ariel, so he's going to probably play a little bit slower and bait in behind them.
That's exactly what we're seeing now. Strider is here onto the site. Does have knowledge. The rest of them are coming on through. Cage is down, but there's the blind. Beautiful usage of the utility there as the attackers are taking over the site. Boombot getting shut down. No one's in heaven.
This
taking
is
control
now.
along.
They popped the Raze ult.
Forces all the defenders back. My goodness. Diffuse is sitting in the corner.
The Raze ult just forces, this is going to be a full retake from one choke point. This is still hard to hold, but, you know, it is Orgless holding. They are playing defense now.
Hater missing the shot from Hell. Look to try and push
Titan!
through the wall here.
TP's
What?
up to the side!
Oh my goodness, gets back in behind them. Diffuse is caught between two players. Titan with a big brain play. Trying to find the last remaining member here, but the bomb is ticking away.
Yes, oh!
GG. Oh!
I was looking at where he was playing on the map. I was like, why is he so far back? And I pressed tab. Here's the ulti, sure enough. And that is just a one round. An anti-eco failed by DreadIQ as Orgless step up to the plate and knock it out of the park.
Orgless looked so collected, TJ, moving into that site. The way they cycled their utility, the way they used the Raze ult to buy time, the way Critical had the knowledge at the end there that he could play back off-site, play passive, make it work. It almost went down when Titan moved in with that beautiful flank, had the TP. He almost undid all of it. But Critical, knowing what his win condition was, able to execute, and now we are one round away from match point.
I'm enjoying this slower movement from Orgless. They're not pushing anything off the bat. They're just waiting for the overaggressive DreadIQ players to come to that. And that's gotten them a man advantage.
We're seeing
Watch
play.
this A push.
What is happening? Yeah.
Ultimate is ready.
Yep, that's Strider.
It's trapwired. Of course it is. Why would it not be trapwired? Why are you pushing that when you know they're still in their spawn?
That's the round gone. Like I don't know how you come back from that. That you hate to put any one specific play or one specific decision on a quote unquote throw, but if there was one we've seen so far today, TJ, that might be it.
I mean, I've not been shouting at other people. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, because he's played so well traditionally. His A site positioning has been great. He's often got one or two frags off the entry.
He likes Strider.
Yeah, no, he's been playing really well.
But there, they not only did they have no intel to indicate that the attackers were pushing any site in particular. DreadIQ knew they were still in B main because their players were still for some reason pushing and dying to them. So there's absolutely no reason to push that flank, especially like. I get the urge, hey, they're quick pushing B, I gotta freak out, be there on the rotate. If you want to make that play, get super up into a lobby, play sewers control or something, where you can still fall back if they turn your way. But given how slowly DreadIQ, or how slowly Orgless were playing that round, DreadIQ needed to just take a chill pill and wait for them to push somewhere. Because walking into them 1v4 over and over again clearly wasn't working.
And we do have the footsteps now. Pushing it onto A. Nice opener there from Aerial. Everybody else is rotating in. Good usage of the Brimstone smokes. One dead in Hell. Double commit, though, with the wall up there as well as the smoke into Heaven. Ult is going to be utilized here to just buy a little bit more time, forcing the defenders back. It's a 3v3 situation, TJ.
Watch Titan here. He's ulting in.
What's going on in? Gathering Shadow into A long. Footsteps, though. They're going to know that he's here. It's a 2v3 situation. Sees the one up in Heaven, sees the one in Hell, and that is a 50. You just can't take that. And that's going to be it. 13-5. Orgless take the game. Solid A push after solid A push. They execute it brilliantly, and they walk away with the win.
That was super fun. Because Orgless just seemed very coordinated. They didn't really, like... Critical, you know, I'm a flame up here. Didn't even really get a 30 bomb, so what's the point? But they didn't rely on the standout play from Critical. It wasn't a situation where there was a carry player. Critical was getting a ton of kills because he kept getting set up for really easy kills. His team knows how to play around him. And that's a sign of really good team play. You see this with top teams in every esport. Hey, this player is really good. And knowing which of your teammates are great in which positions, which your teammates are great in every position, and how to enable them is a sign of practice team playing, coordinated play. And I really liked how they were playing to enable Critical there. We saw lots of particularly A pushes where Ariel, the Cypher on A, was just baiting for Critical. Just saying, hey, I'm going to play back, we're going to buy time, we're going to bring in the players, we're going to get these frags for sure. That kind of team-first play and team-first attitude is really cool from Orgless. Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of great things over the course of that. Again, I felt like this is probably the... I'm a professional esports caster.
Yeah, I actually feel like TJ, that was probably the game the most that I thought team play shined over individual shots
Shown.
and individual
Yes.
performance. Shown? It's shown. Yes.
Shined? Shown. I don't know.
I think
I
both
think
are
that might be
grammatically.
a British versus American English thing. But
I'm Canadian, so I don't how I know.
I don't know, flip a coin.
All right.
The
You're the American here,
most
TJ.
important thing that game was team play, and we did see the difference in the depth of strategies. Particularly DreadIQ looked all right once they were playing real fast on T side, because that's how you play attack on Haven, is you play pretty fast and you are willing to pull the plug when things go wrong, and they were willing to do that, and they did that good. But once it came to defense, where the tactical pressure is on in a way it isn't on defense on other maps, because you go to Haven, you need to work out how to distribute your players across
Yep.
3 sites. And that means defenders need to be conscious of who their players are, what utility they have left, how quickly they can rotate, that kind of thing. You could see DreadIQ just weren't able to keep up.
And it's interesting because there's this game you play, especially on Haven. It's the adaptability game. It's where, okay, they've been pushing A a lot. So we're going to, maybe play 1 and C, 1 garage, 1 B, 2 A. Okay. And this time they're going to push C. And okay, whoa, wait, where are they going to go? And then they'll go back to A. The second you rotate it back. And it's this back and forth. Again, I talk about the idea of the mind games, but it's you're playing a game. It's 4D chess. You know what I mean?
The big thing is it can't be conscious. That's one of the things you have to be able to internalize.
It's cerebral.
What is our response to this?
Yeah.
And if there's a analogy I'm going to make that's going to out me as a nerd. You ever watch Star Trek, like The Next Generation?
I just mentioned 4D chess, my dude.
So you have all these, especially in the movies, you have like all these scenes where like all the characters need to leave the bridge to go do things. And you'll have this shot where the guy on the bridge stands up to go to the alien ship to save the universe, and somebody else just instantly goes and takes his position, which I always appreciated as a nice little detail.
Yeah, there's
But
always somebody there.
You have to know what that is. You have to know what your plan B and C for, hey, this position is threatened, and who takes that place if this person goes down, if this person needs to rotate, how do we shift our defense so we still, at the very least, can hear what's going on? And I could see that with Orgless, and I couldn't see that with DreadIQ, and that set those two defenses apart.
Absolutely. And again, defense is just so critical to nail right now because it's really where you can extend a lead. Just again, how sort of the maps are favored and how the attackers, people are still figuring out these attack strategies. But again, I want to note, a lot of these players probably met through the Scrim Discord. They haven't been playing together for a ton of time. The game's only been out for a few weeks.
I got good news for you because I've actually I've got Critical for an interview.
Oh, nice. All right, so we're going to hop onto a short break. TJ's going to go do this interview the way the technology of all this works. I wish we could do it live. We'll try and figure out how to do it for next time. We'll get that sorted. Next time. I'll have like another screen. It's going to show pictures of us, and then we can jump into the other Discord call. We can bring them in. That's how we'll do it.
I think you should record a loop of us just nodding.
Yep.
And play that while we're interviewing.
All right. TJ's going to go do this. We're going to hop onto a short break. I'm going to get some water. Get yourself a beverage. Enjoy the Saturday afternoon. We'll be back in a few minutes with this great interview and the next game.
All right, I'm here with Critical, who just almost 30 bombed, winning the game for Team Orgless over DreadIQ. That game looked close during your defense. Then we flipped sides. DreadIQ had to defend, and the game lead just opened up. You won cleanly. Can you tell me what changed?
Well, we noticed that like their A player wasn't very strong, so we kind of like abused that a lot near the end. But in the beginning, we're just kind of playing our default strats, hitting C a lot, and just seeing how it went from there, playing off picks, and it was just working out really well for us.
In the beginning, when DreadIQ were on attack, they had these lightning fast, hyper aggressive pushes that looked like they maybe found a pattern, a tempo that was working. How did you adapt to that? Can you talk about what the conversation was in the team to fix that?
We just tried playing a little more like defensive and playing around with each other more, like keeping 2 people with each other mostly at all times, especially in garage. And that's kind of just like what happened. They just kind of funneled into us, and we just started fragging out. Especially me at B, I was just kind of playing a little bit aggressive during mid whenever I'd smoked, and I got the picks off that, and it just worked.
Can you talk about round 15? You guys are on the attack. You have an eco buy, and you win it.
Yeah, that's when we fit. Yeah, so we were like, hey, their A player's not very strong, so that's when we hit A like really, really hard, and then that's what we kept doing that after that.
That was really Strider on the And that was the round where he got the round after that. He got like super aggressive on the Cypher. He like ran out A, and you got a free kill from that.
Yeah. So we pretty much knew we could take A any point during that, and we kept doing it over and over.
So if you
They
don't
couldn't
mind,
punish
and I don't
us.
want to put poor Strider on roast,
Mm.
what is, because you also had a sniper playing A, that was Ariel. Let's frame it this way. What was Ariel doing right? What do you want
Um,
your ciphers to be doing on that A site to stall?
so he was just playing like really defensive. He had a camera set up. We always knew if someone went like crossed over to A short or anything like that, or went up long. And if something like that happened, we would rotate one from B, and
Mhm.
it was just simple from there. So we always had people like ready to rotate and everything.
Uh,
Not playing aggressive on A, not giving him free picks.
have you guys played together as a team before, or is this your first competitive shooter?
This is our second time playing as a team. We just made this team for
Your
Valorant.
second time ever.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You're the second team to give me that answer today. So you guys presumably met in a tournament in Valorant, and you formed a team, and that, do you think that gives you the edge over teams that are maybe starting with synergy from other shooters, but having to adapt to this shooter as a team?
I'm not sure. We're just like we're all like the team chem's like already there. Like everything's just kind of like working out. It seems like I don't know. We just got good team chem already,
All
so
right.
it's kind of pushing us forward.
Well, I wish you luck. Tell me, how far do you think you're going in this tournament? Am I going to see you in the
No,
finals?
we're gonna win. Yeah, we're winning.
Last guy I interviewed was like, I don't know, we'll do well. I
No, we're
appreciate the
winning.
confidence. All right,
Of
good luck,
course.
Critical. I look
Thank you.
forward to
Thank
casting
you.
Orgless as you guys move on in the rest of this
Oh,
tournament.
yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.